Hey everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres, and it is Friday afternoon. It has been a really long week, up in the 90s every day, and our high today was 98. Not my idea of a good time. Thought we'd give you a quick tour in the greenhouse. A lot less full than it was before, and it's going to get less full. Part of it's going to be harvesting, and part of it's going to be just shifting stuff out of here. Our goal is to try and get the hydroponics set up soon, maybe this weekend, but the foreseeable future is going to be miserable here in terms of temperature. Sometime next week it should get down in the high 80s again, but wow, this is a little early for us to be this hot. So let's take a quick look around. Come on, there we go. Okay, empty. It used to have Brussels sprouts in it. We ate a bunch of them and then got rid of the rest of them because they weren't doing anything. It was just too hot in here and they were old plants. So enough. There's more out in the yard, and we're going to give them a try and see what happens. Lettuce. Lots of lettuce. Some of it has tip burn, but what I do is I literally trim it off with a pair of scissors when I'm making salads. It's fine. This was, and because it still tastes good, it's just a little brown on the edge. This was full of cabbage. We've harvested all but 2 of them. It's getting a little too hot in here, and these had experienced a little bit of drought. They didn't get quite enough water at one point, which will cause them to crack. So a couple of these here had started to crack. So I'm monitoring the ones in the back, and we'll see. Even if they crack, they're still delicious. You just couldn't sell them or anything, but we're not trying to sell them, we're just eating them. More lettuce and 1 rutabaga. It's a little on the small side, so we decided to leave it for a little longer. We have a couple of big ones we're hoping to eat this weekend. Some of our remaining flowers here that are still in the greenhouse because the bed's not done that they go into. Unfortunately, they've been blooming in here. They're really pretty, but I'd rather not. We have Silosia. We have, not Silosia. Yeah, we have Silosia. I was thinking in one direction and then pointing in the other direction. Yes, the tall ones are Silosia. Then there's hollyhocks in the middle, and then there's portulaca at this end. The portulaca, we've got some gorgeous pictures of. They've been blooming like crazy in here. It's a little warm in here even for them at this point. Spinach, it is starting to bolt. Gotten a ton of salads out of that. This one also is starting to bolt. I need to start another bucket of it, and then as soon as they get large enough, I'll ship the bucket outside. These are old empty buckets. This one had cabbage in it, so did that one, and they've all been eaten. So yeah, I've gradually been recycling these. These will be used for something other than cabbage, so my guess is spinach or lettuce will go in here. These are some of our seedlings. Let's see, these are all zinnias, a couple of lupins, a couple of vines. These are husk cherries. Wanted to get them just a little bit bigger before they went out. There's a couple of peppers in here too. Cosmos, that's the tall guys. I don't like to let them get that big in here, but like I said, the bed they're supposed to go into is not stable right now. So I'm hoping to get that stabilized this weekend. We'll see. It is so hot, you know. There's a limit to what you can do sometimes. That guy and this guy, those are sweet potatoes. They look kind of yucky because they've recently been transplanted, but they're doing pretty well for only having been in here for a few days. These are cuttings, so they just stuck in there. What I want to do is get these sweet potatoes going well with a good root system before they go outside. Kohlrabi. That's Terek kohlrabi. We really like Terek. and its buddy Conan, who is a different variety of kohlrabi, is already outside and doing really well. In fact, I probably need to harvest him this week. These are mosh, which is a specialty lettuce, and these are radishes, because Henry loves radishes. This is a little pot right there that I tossed a couple of plants into because we're going to use it to cover up one of the spots where there's a valve box that's not particularly pretty, and it'll just give a little bit more height, and it's got nice flowers in it. More rudbeckia and some bachelor buttons and some calendula. Again, I'm really hoping to get those out this week. The problem is I try not to plant out when it's this brutally hot, but I think the whole summer's going to be that way, so I don't think we have a lot of options. More cabbage. All our buddies have already been eaten. This guy is starting to form a head. So, yeah, we'll just watch them. Keep watering them good. These are more sweet potatoes. They had some early frost damage, which is what the brown is on there, but they're doing great now. Those are cucumbers. Last year we grew our cucumbers, this particular type, jade, in the greenhouse, and they loved it in here and did well no matter how hot it got. So we're going to do that again. This is the donor sweet potato plant. It lives under the bench, and it's where I'm getting all the cuttings from to make more sweet potato plants. The remaining potatoes, no, the remaining tomatoes. These will go into Dutch buckets as soon as we get that set up. I did get some more buckets for Dutch buckets, and yeah, this will be a variety. We've got Big Beef, we've got Amanda Orange, and we have Gardener's Delight. I think we also have one or two others we were experimenting with. Yeah, we have Granadero, which is a paste tomato, Wisconsin 55. I don't remember what kind of tomato that is. Anyway, it might be I think that's just a regular tomato that produces a 4 or 5 ounce fruit. I think that's what they said. But we're experimenting with a couple of those in the garden and a couple of them in here. We usually grow Granadero in the garden, and we're going to, most of them are out there, but we're trying one in here just to see how they do. And that's it. Look how empty we are. Yeah, I've been working hard to get stuff out. It used to be like this huge row all the way down here full of various kinds of plants. Some of them are now living out in the garden in what we call the Brassica Forest. Henry showed a lovely picture the other day, I'll have him put it up again, of Isa in the Brassica Forest. There's, let's see, what do we have out there? We have Brussels sprouts and kohlrabi and rutabaga, onions, I'm probably forgetting, potatoes. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of stuff out there, but we got them started in here and then we shipped them out. So they're a lot happier. So I think Henry's planning to do a roundup for some questions that we've been getting, but just in case, I will remind you, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Share this with your friends. If you have friends who are gardeners, we do all kinds of gardening. We've got greenhouse stuff going on. We're going to be doing hydroponic stuff. We do a lot of stuff in buckets, which sometimes we keep in the greenhouse and sometimes we move outside. As long as you have a way to keep your buckets watered outside, you don't have to keep them in a greenhouse. We just like to get them started in here because the predator pressure out in the garden is pretty heavy. I've been trapping mice every single night lately, and the other night I put out 5 rat traps and I got 4 mice, so yeah. But we have most of our tomatoes planted out. Our roselle is planted out, and then there's lots of things in pots, lots of things, potatoes, onions, and leeks in the garden. We're going to have husk cherries out there, and I haven't even planted the legumes. The only thing we've planted so far this spring in the garden, other than the potatoes and stuff, is I have planted peas, which were a fail. We talked about that the other day. The rodents ate them and the wind just beat them to the point where there was nothing left. But there was a batch of snow peas at the end of the bed, and they are producing gangbusters, just totally, a couple of handfuls a day. of snow peas. So very happy with them. So be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we are going to do a ton of stuff. And like I say, if you have friends who garden, family that gardens, enemy that gardens, family members you hate that garden, share this with them, unless you want their gardens to fail. Then I suppose you maybe wouldn't want to share it with them. Anyway, we answer questions, we try to be helpful, we show you all the crazy projects we have and all the experiments we do. So until next time, bye.